Greetings and God bless. I have been dealing with the aftermath of almost every time you go on a bus in Denver, there's going to be some sort of altercation. I don't know if it's undiagnosed low grade infection like West Nile virus or Lyme disease, which when you have a low grade infection or a chronic infection that ends up in psychiatric um, outcomes. And of course, the medical industry is not uh, allowed to practice microscopy. It's not trained to be aware of Lyme disease and whatnot unless it serves some sort of government globalist agenda. And and then we have the drugs here in Denver and the high altitude and the current economic warfare that's going on against Americans and other kind of toxins that are just pumped into our food, air, water, whatever. People in Denver are so on edge. Like I grew up in New York, and yeah, there were people on edge and stuff, but very rare did people just really want to fight. And here in Denver, they want to fight. And so these two people were going at it, and the one guy gets up and he punches my arm. And it's a sucker punch, and now my arm and my neck is bothering me, and it's just like I was just sitting there praying because these two jerks, this white lady, and I think this guy was white, maybe he was like Hispanic, but anyways, like he punched me because he wanted to punch somebody, and I was just there, and you know, and this is Denver. Like in Denver, you learn the meaning of sucker punch. You're some innocent, responsible adult that's minding your own business, and you get punched um, when you're not expecting it. Because I thought he was just stumbling, but he punched me because it was a really hard blow, and it took me some time afterwards to realize that he did that, and it's like caused like this domino effect, and it just also it's a violation. Like this person hurt me, deliberately hurt me, just because he wanted to, just because he wanted to get his rocks off, just because he was whatever, had some stress, had something bad happen to him when he was a child, and he's going to take it out on some random person. And this is Denver. Denver's like, yeah, criminals, come here. Oh, run our streets, like, oh, drug dealers, human traffickers, yeah, Denver, come here. Illegal immigrants, yeah, come here and make our city a cesspool, because Denver doesn't do anything. I don't know, I mean, they don't take care of even minimal things or even major things. Like there's scooters that are running you over on the sidewalk, and then there's drug traffickers that are bringing cocaine and fentanyl into Colorado. They don't, no, they drop charges and let you go free. So, anyways, yeah, I just um, and I did a video about this yesterday. Like when these two people were fighting, there was all these little children, and they made the little child cry, and the jerky young man who punched me tried blaming the other person, say you made her cry, and no, they both made her cry. This little girl. So, anyways, there's just something very sick and dysfunctional about Denver, and Denverites are just like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm just gonna live my own life. I'm just gonna do my hiking and do my drugs and do my PETA activism, save a donkey's life or something, and just forget about taking care of your fellow man. That instead of saving your donkey's life, instead of spending thousands of dollars on your dog, how about like contributing to your the people in your backyard that are literally insane and um targeted. I mean, because that's another thing, but um yeah. So yeah, this is what it's like when you're you're not insulated by millions of dollars or not insulated by being willing to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars of credit card debt, because that's what everybody's expecting you to do. They're expecting you to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars to relocate and live in a crappy house or apartment and eat their crappy food that the restaurant serves and get crappy service, and you pay a good tip, because you're supposed to. um, it's just you know I don't know, Denver definitely takes the cake as the worst city that I've ever lived in, just in terms of what, seeing how negligent the city is, and the consequences of it. Because every time I'm walking outside, it's going to be some sort of crisis. Um, some person uh, just full of some sort of symptom, and it's very stressful to just see um, somebody freaking out or somebody being angry like every 10 feet. It's like a bomb, a bomb, a bomb, and then you have people on their scooters. So you have three or four people that you're trying to, like, because they're riding as fast as they can on the sidewalk. And so you're like, okay, which way are you going to crash into me? Are all of you going to crash into me? So yeah, it's not fun. And, I wonder, is this deliberate, or is Denver, the city of Denver, just trying to repel people from being a pedestrian, like people locally, because tourists are just gonna like ignore it. They're not gonna process it, but locals are having to wade through this pathos and this, just being like, when you have somebody going 30 miles an hour on a scooter on a sidewalk, they're like, get out of my way. Like they're like, threatening you. Like it's a assault with a deadly weapon, and they know it, and most people get out of their way. And I'm like, this is the sidewalk. I should not have to be afraid and be running on the sidewalk away from your scooter. And the city doesn't protect you, because if the city wants to make money, like all cities want to make money, but they seem to want to make money in the most despicable way possible. They're not making money in a way that is protecting the public, which they could, which the public would support, but no. Like, they need to give tickets to the people on these scooters, because the scooters are not supposed to be on the sidewalk. That's what it says. That's what it says on the scooter. It's what it says in the law, in the city law. But does Denver do anything? They have all these people walking on the streets in their blue and black shirts, or even police, and they're just all ignoring it. And it makes it very unpleasant to just walk, And the best thing about a city is its pedestrians, honestly. Like the productive pedestrians who are going to the store and going to the gym and walking home, and just going for a walk. Like, those are nice things. That's what makes a place charming. And when you have these wastelands of just, I mean, the thing is, when there's nobody walking, you never see the scooters. If you're on 15th Street or 17th Street, where there's a lot less pedestrian traffic, for some reason the scooters are not all concentrated there. The scooters want to be where all the people are. I don't know if the scooters like to be seen. I don't know if they like to terrorize people, because these are not nice people that are riding these scooters so fast. I think the scooter companies, Lyft and Lime, should ban these people who are riding on the sidewalks, and that there shouldn't be such a fast speed. If the speed of those scooters should be walking speed, you know, because these people are incapable of being responsible. Those scooters are supposed to be used on the street or in the bike lane, but I get, it's like 1%, 5% are following the law. And not only is it that they're following the law, they're keeping people safe, and they're keeping a semblance of safe. Like, if, should we let people in cars drive on the sidewalk? It's just like, that's what it feels like. It's like I'm not only having to deal with cars that are impatient and trying to make a turn when it's not their light, trying to cross the zebra crossing when it's not their light. And I'm just trying to get from here to there. I don't want to have to wait a half hour, for there to be no traffic. But cars are like, wait a half hour. You have nothing better to do. You're walking. You're nobody important. You're less than garbage. You wait for me. That's what drivers' mentality are like. And I found this to be in Iowa, in South Dakota, in Montana, in Virginia, like and Oregon. Like the only city that I find where it's not like that is, I would say, New York. And I would say, when I was in Philadelphia, the cars did not seem quite so aggressive. So, but yeah, I don't think Philadelphia was the first really angry city for no reason. Like people would be getting angry from behind me at me because I was just walking on the sidewalk in front of them, and I wasn't even going slow. Like, and for, I mean, it's like go around if you don't like the person. But yeah, like Philadelphia is kind of a crazy, angry city. But yeah, Denver is this other level of crazy angry, because they're just like, they do sucker punch. Like Denver, the sucker punch city. That's what I'm thinking of it as. And it's just like gaslight you, because people are like, "Oh, Denver's so great," Not if you're a pedestrian, not if you're going to take the bus. Like a lot of locals are not taking the bus in Denver because it's too violent on the bus. The bus drivers here have these, they're encased in a plastic coffin because people try to beat up or kill the drivers. And there's like this lack of self-preservation in the people here. So there's the people who have their fancy jobs, and then there's the working people who are keeping this place running, and then there's like the poor people who are disabled, mentally ill, drug addicted, and homeless. And there's a huge population of that, and they're so neglected, and and there's just so much strain. There's so much strain and stress in Denver. Like everybody looks like they're afraid. Or not everybody, but a lot of people. Um, and I wonder if those who aren't are like on drugs or drunk or on psychiatric meds, or just dissociated. So, um, yeah, it could be a nice city. I keep on reading other people's comments that it used to be really nice like 15 years ago. And but man, it does not hold up. Like, and I've said before, yeah, if you're insulated, if you're just going from your car in your garage to the highway to another garage, it's going to be, like it's totally fine. But otherwise, I think that, if you're somebody who takes public transportation and rides the bus and walks, like I like to walk, and the streets here are just too crazy. It's anarchy, and I had no idea. I had no idea that a city could be this way. Um, so, anyways, thank you for watching, and God bless.